Hi babes, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, what's up? I'm Ashley. I've been wanting to make this video for kind of a while now. I feel like I was just kind of scared to make this video because I didn't want to say the wrong thing, or I didn't want people to be mad at me for whatever reason. But you know, I just decided that I want to make this video because I want to talk about abortion. During this video, I'm gonna try my hardest not to let my opinion kind of set the parameters for everything that I'm gonna say. I just want to talk about the facts about what's going on because I do think it's really important. I know some people are gonna be like, your opinion is included. I am a very opinionated person. I know that. So I do think that my opinion is gonna be involved in a lot of this. I feel like a lot of people out there don't actually know what's going on with abortions in America right now, and a lot of people don't care, and I think that you should care no matter what you think about it right now. I think that you should know what's going on, and if you want to be educated about your opinion, you should have the information in front of you. I saw a video of Maddie Healy talking about the Alabama abortion ban. That's kind of like the one that sparked all this controversy because it's the most restrictive one that's happening right now. A lot of states are trying to pass abortion bans for various different time periods and restrictions and whatever, but the most restrictive one is the Alabama abortion ban. And Maddie Healy was talking about it at a concert. If you don't know who Maddie Healy is, he is a singer in the 1975, and he was talking about how he read the Alabama abortion ban, and that made me want to read it, so I did. I think that's the first thing that we're gonna do today, is look over the Alabama abortion ban and kind of talk about what's going on in it, what it says, and like I said, I'm gonna try not to put my opinion into it, but you'll quickly figure out what my opinion on the whole matter is. I would also like to say that this has not been put into law yet, thanks to the Roe v. Wade situation, which we will be talking about as well. I'm on, I think, alabama.com, al.com, I don't know. I'm also finding all my information on the internet, and a lot of people are gonna be like, well, the internet's not accurate, and I'm like, okay, where else do you want me to find my information? Am I gonna go to the Congress and be like, can I read the Alabama abortion ban? No, that's just not how it works. We're reading it from the internet. This bill would make abortion and attempted abortion felony offenses, except in cases where abortion is necessary in order to prevent a serious health risk to the unborn child's mother. So basically, they are trying to make abortions illegal for people, for everyone, except for mothers who could die if they gave birth. Can we also just talk about how that sentence, the first sentence of this thing, says it will be a felony if a woman has an abortion? I feel like we need to talk about the abortion laws in America right now really quick. It's because of the Supreme Court case Roe v. Wade. If you are unfamiliar or you don't really know what happened with this case, that's okay. I didn't really know that much about it either until I did some research on it. It basically just says a woman who is in her first trimester of pregnancy can have an abortion. It makes abortion legal for women in their first trimester at any time for any reason. But it also says that after that, during the second and third trimester, it is up to the state's regulations to decide if a woman can have an abortion. That is why a lot of states have laws on, you know, the amount of weeks that you up to that you're able to have an abortion legally. Back to the Alabama one. In the present state law of Alabama, defines a person for homicide purposes to include an unborn child in utero at any stage of development, regardless of viability. Regardless of viability. They're saying that it is murder if you abort a child, regardless of that child's ability to live. Now, if you're pregnant and you find out that your child is not going to live once you give birth to it, it has major birth defects and would not survive the birth, or would survive for a very short amount of time, you might want to abort that child so that you don't have to go through with the pregnancy. Whatever the reason, it's not my business, but this law is saying that it would be murder for those cases as well. You know, keep that in mind. It talks about how all men are created equal. I'm a little bit confused why this is in this Alabama abortion ban, because if all men are created equal, why is this ban specifically targeting women and only women and nothing to do with the men involved in this situation? If women are committing murder when they're aborting their child, wouldn't that make the father an accessory of murder? No, because men are not to blame at all for this. I'm getting heated, and we can't get heated. We're trying to just read the ban. Talks about anti-slavery and how equal rights was the basis of this movement, and so apparently that is equivalent to how women should not be allowed to have abortions. Okay, interesting. Abortion advocates speak to women's rights, but they ignore the unborn child, while medical science has increasingly recognized the humanity of unborn children. This is a little bit of a random statement, I feel like, from them. Okay, I don't actually think that abortion advocates ignore the unborn child, but go off. Okay, it says medical science has increasingly recognized the humanity of the unborn child. Okay, where are your receipts? Recent medical advances prove a baby's heart starts to beat at around 6 weeks. Do you know how many women don't even know that they're pregnant at 6 weeks? If you're 6 weeks pregnant, that means you've only missed one period, or you could have even had that period. Like, how many women even know that they're pregnant at 6 weeks? At 6 weeks of pregnancy, your baby is the size of a pea. You literally probably don't even know that you're pregnant, but oh, they have a heartbeat, so okay. As early as 6 weeks after fertilization, fetal photography shows the clear development of a human being. As early as 6 weeks? Did we not just go over the fact that at 6 weeks, the child is the size of a pea, and it says at 6 weeks, fetal photography shows the clear development of a human being? I don't think a pea can look like a human being. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, here's where it gets really good. They decided that in this abortion ban that they were literally presenting to Congress, whoever decided to write this decided that they wanted to include facts about German concentration camps, the Chinese Great Leap Forward, the Rwandan genocide. Let's just read what it says. 6 million Jewish people were murdered in German concentration camps during World War II. 3 million people were murdered during Joseph Stalin's regime. 2,500,000 people were murdered during the Chinese Great Leap Forward. 1,500,000 to 3,000 people were murdered in the 1970s in Cambodia. 1 million people were murdered during the Rwandan genocide in 1994. It says all of these are widely acknowledged to have been crimes against humanity. By comparison, more than 50 million babies have been aborted in the United States since the Roe decision in 1973. I just want to throw it out there that in this ban, they are literally comparing abortions to war and genocide. Like, what? Are you serious right now? I just don't see how this is relevant at all to abortions, other than to scare people. And they're comparing it to all these horrible events that happened, literally just trying to scare you into thinking that abortions need to stop because it's killed more than all these other horrible events. I don't think this proves anything to me except for that it's irrelevant and did not need to be included in the Alabama abortion ban, but and then they define how they're going to use a lot of the words in this bill. They say abortion, the use or prescription of any instrument, medicine, or drug, or any substance or device with the intent to terminate the pregnancy of a woman known to be pregnant with knowledge that the termination by those means will with reasonable likelihood cause the death of the unborn child. The term does not include these activities if it is done with the intent to save the life or preserve the health of an unborn child. It also includes if the child has lethal anomaly, which basically means that the child doesn't have a brain in that one specific situation, or in the other situations where you're trying to preserve the health of the child or preserve the life of the mother. Abortion is supposed to be illegal according to them. So part of the law that they're trying to get passed is that if there's a serious health risk to the unborn child's mother, they can be excluded from this law. In their definition of what they consider a serious health risk to the mother, they say, you know, if it's going to cause death or serious bodily impairment. It also says that this term does not include a condition based on a claim that the woman is suffering from an emotional condition or mental illness. They're seriously saying that if it's proven a woman has mental illnesses or emotional trauma and cannot go through with this pregnancy without the potential of causing harm to herself or her child, cannot be excluded from this law. Oh, it says, however, the condition may exist if a second physician who is licensed in Alabama as a psychiatrist with a minimum of 3 years of clinical experience examines the woman and documents that the woman has a diagnosed serious mental illness because of it. There is reasonable medical judgment that she will engage in conduct that could result in the death or the death of her unborn child. To avoid the conduct, the determination may be performed and shall only be performed by a physician licensed in the Alabama in a hospital defined in the Alabama Administrative Code, and to which he or she has admitting privileges. First of all, now they're saying it is okay, I guess, but if and only if a second physician who is a licensed psychiatrist examines the woman and documents that a woman has a diagnosed serious mental illness. They just said that that wasn't okay, and now they're saying it's only okay if a woman goes through this process, gets examined by a psychiatrist, then can have an abortion. Alabama, what's going on? Their definition of unborn child, or person is a human being, specifically including an unborn child in utero at any stage of development, regardless of viability. Now they're back to the regardless of viability, which means regardless of if the baby is even going to survive. Woman, a female human being, whether or not she has reached the age of majority. So basically what they're saying is that this law includes a woman of any age, under 18, above 18. So the reason that the Alabama abortion ban is the one that got everyone kind of heated and talking about abortions, this law states that a woman at any point in her pregnancy cannot have an abortion, which contradicts what the Roe v. Wade decision said. And this law also would prevent women, even if they are victims of rape and incest, cannot have an abortion. The abortion rate has actually gone down a lot in the last 10 years. On the CDC, it talks about how from 2006 to 2015, the abortion rate has gone down 24%. It also talked about how more than half, actually like 60% of women who receive abortions are women who already have children and don't want another child. It's talking about the Guchmar Institute. So they anonymously surveyed 1,209 post-abortive women from 9 different abortion clinics across the country. They asked the women what their reasons were for having an abortion. The 2 most popular ones were 25% of women said that they were not ready for a child. 23% of women said that they can't afford to have a baby. I just think those are pretty solid reasons, because a lot of people seem to think if you aren't in an economic standing where you can have a child, that, oh, that's okay, you can just give the child up for adoption. But you just expect the person to be able to go through with the pregnancy, to go to the doctor, to go to the hospital, to do all of these things and miraculously have the money for that when they might not even have enough money to provide for themselves right now. Glad we're more worried about the child's life though than the mother's. 23.7% of women in the United States will have an abortion by the age of 45. That is pretty common. That's almost 25% of people. That is 1 in 4 people will have an abortion by the age of 47, 45. Oh yeah, there's also a Georgia law that's trying to get passed that says that women who miscarry could potentially be sucked into a criminal investigation of her miscarriage. Are you serious? Because they really care so much about abortion that they're gonna go and arrest you for having a miscarriage because they want to find out if it really was a miscarriage or not. I really don't think that's any of their goddamn business. More than 90% of abortions happen during the first trimester, which is what we've been going over with Roe v. Wade and how it is legal for women in all 50 states to have abortions during the first trimester, and more than 90% of abortions are happening during the first trimester. So what's the issue? Why are we bringing this up? Alabama, why did you need to start this little quarrel? You didn't. I just feel like you can be pro-life for yourself. You do not have to have an abortion to support abortion. It puzzles me that people think that they actually have the right to control what other women are doing with their bodies. They want to control women. And I just think it's really interesting how men are being excluded from the conversation about abortions. And you might say, Ashley, duh, like men don't have abortions. Yeah, men don't have abortions. So why are men the ones voting on whether or not abortions should be legal? These abortion bans are really important to be paying attention to because they're trying to control women. What you can do is you can donate abortion advocate companies. You can donate to places like Planned Parenthood, who are constantly getting defunded by the government. Nothing against the United States government. My FBI agent, please don't come and kill me after I make this video. I'm not trying to use this to change people's minds about abortion. I really am just trying to educate people on what's happening with abortion. Not that I'm in any sort of position to do so. Like, I don't think that I'm well versed in the topic of abortion. Of the research that I've done, here it is. I'm giving it to you, and that's that about that. I know people in my life who have had abortions. I do not think anything different of them than I would someone who hasn't had an abortion. It really does not need to be something that defines like who you are as a woman, and as Alabama is trying to say, that defines you as a murderer. And it also blows my mind that people think that banning abortions are going to stop abortions. Banning abortions are not going to stop abortions. They're only going to stop safe abortions. If you think this is going to stop abortions and you think that's right, you only care about yourself. That is so controversial. I cannot say that out loud. Before we get too heated and I start getting so much hate on this video, I think we're just gonna end it. Thanks so much for watching this. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully on a happier note.